Yeah.
Bam.
Fucking.
So this is SkiFree.
Yeah.
By Chris Pira? 1991. Damn.
His name is like the beginning of the word piranha.
Okay, so slalom, freestyle, tree, slalom.
I don't know anything about skiing. I know that the word slalom has something to do with it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a snowboarder.
This totally was a
Wacky
thing.
snowboarders.
So this was... You were saying that this was packed in with Windows? Is that what the
I think
Windows
so,
Entertainment
yeah.
Pack was?
I don't know. I just remember it just being on computers.
What year
Windows
are we in right
95
now?
or so. The game came out in 91. It's
Yeah.
according to that.
So there's the guy who made the game has like a website about it now because he apparently found the source code for it in 2005 and like recompiled it, and that's the version we're playing now. But he's just some guy who was working at Microsoft, and he made this game for his PC to teach himself Windows programming because Windows was like new at Microsoft at the time or whatever. And the guy who was in charge of, what was it? It was like the guy who was, he says the guy who was in charge of the Windows Entertainment Pack, whatever that is, saw him playing it at work and decided to buy it from him or license it from him in a super exploitive way that involved no
Dog.
royalties or anything like that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just, it's a game that I remember playing a bunch of just because it was on.
because it was around,
Kind of like,
because you were a kid and it was
Yeah.
a game.
kind of like Space Cadet Pinball or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I played the shit out of that. Man, why isn't that on the list?
It probably is. Maybe double check that. Yeah. So there's like
Man, why didn't you jump? You're bad at games. You're bad at
just did
SkiFree.
backflip. Jumped over that rock.
Yeah, you did. How do you do a backflip?
I don't know. I just kind of did that when I jumped off of something.
Maybe it's like when you jump off of certain objects or whatever it does.
So there's the. Oh my god! I just got eaten by.
Jesus.
So that's what
That's
happens
fucked up.
when you, and there's like trees moving around.
Yeah, there's supposedly a SkiFree fan fiction site, and I assume it has to do with like the mythology
Yeah,
people have made up
because there's
about.
a lot of weird little like Easter eggs in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So tree slalom, slalom, and freestyle. Freestyle is what we just did basically.
Wicca.
I think slalom is the like really long skis or something. Oh yeah, and so we're supposed to go like around each flag or whatever.
Oh, it's got like a system for that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed by this game.
It's kind of cool, right? It's just like like you can see how it was his project for figuring out how to code. It's like, what else can I do in here?
It's like it's like
Dog.
you know how in like Elder Scrolls games and like
That
lots
dog
of
just
games.
pooped because I scared him,
Yeah,
I think.
that's pretty interesting. He just shit himself because that's what dogs do when you scare them. They just shit.
Yeah. That's what my dog does.
Oh. Like, you know how in games, in a lot of games, they'll have like a test room that they can warp to with a console command or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that has all of the things in the game in it. It's just like, here's a guy for you to kill, and it's telling you about your high score
Yeah. Because
with a Windows API
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Jump.
that seems like what this game is. Like there would be an actual SkiFree, and this is like the level you can warp to that just has all the things in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's the dog, and there's the snowman,
Yeah.
and there's the
So basically, if you keep going after the finish line, that monster shows up and inevitably chases you down because he's faster than you.
It's fucked up. So far, all these games have been teaching us stuff. Like Mario taught us that we can't go back, and some other game taught us something else that I've already forgotten.
Yeah, all those valuable lessons.
Yeah. So like this game is teaching us that like you can't bite off more than you can chew.
This game is
Like
teaching
it's
us
teaching us
that-
about the hubris of man. I think is what it's teaching us about.
This game is teaching us that skiing is dangerous.
Yeah. Skiing is hecka dangerous, right?
I just lit that tree on fire by jumping through it for some reason.
Skiing is dangerous as fuck. Like,
It depends. I mean,
dude, nah, let's be real here for a minute. Like, when you fall over skiing, it seems ultra likely that you'll break your goddamn leg. Like, if you fall over wrong, if you fall over going really fast, and like one of those skis gets caught on the ground or a tree or something, you're just gonna rip your goddamn leg off.
but you don't have to go really fast. Like,
Well, yeah, no shit. Like, you don't have to drive real fast, but sometimes you kind of totally do
you
to
don't.
like get anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying you can be like pretty safe about it.
You can be
You
a
can also
dweeb.
be totally
You can be a
unsafe
dweeb about how you ski.
Yeah.
It seems like that defeats the point of skiing. Like, the point of skiing is to be a super dangerous, exhilarating thing. And yeah, you can go all slow and be a dweeb about it, but you might as well like not even be skiing. You might as well just take a walk in the snow.
So for some reason, the noobs, I just knocked a noob over, have like blue faces.
You can just knock noobs over? Are you getting points for that, or are you losing points?
I don't know. Speed. So there's like speed, time, distance, and style.
So your
Style points?
style. I bet that backflip
Go
you
off a
did.
jump. Ugh,
I bet if you like click at that jump, it does the backflip or something.
probably.
Nice.
Thump. So yeah, I guess you can basically like beat your times and stuff. Ugh.
There you go.
Is
No
that a
style
backflip?
points though.
No style points. I just kind of was upside down for a long time, and then I wasn't anymore. I don't know if that was actually a backflip. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is pretty much
This is
ski free.
free.
And then the wacky snowboarders come. Can I fuck one up?
Fucking like Sean White
Yeah.
or whatever. That's
a
the only snowboarder
snowboarder,
I know.
Well, he got stuck in the
Sure,
trees.
Sean White's whole job is to just be like, brah, about everything all the time.
Yeah.
You just see a fucking commercial with him and he's just like drinking a Sprite.
I'd have that.
like,
I'd,
bruh,
I'd do that for a
dude.
job
Yeah.
if I got paid.
I wonder if he would like lose a lot of money if he cut his golden locks.
Wow, that
Ever.
fucking snowboarder is an asshole.
It's Sean White. He's like,
Why are there dogs on this mountain?
they're Saint Bernards looking for dead guys or something, maybe.
In avalanches?
In avalanches. Isn't that what Saint Bernards do? Don't you put like some whiskey around their neck and they go looking for dead guys? Because they'll like... Is it because Saint
Why
Bernards
whiskey?
are big and strong and like less likely to die because they're warmer? Or like, are dogs actually less likely to die in the snow than us?
Than us?
Yeah.
I think probably, depending on the breed.
Okay.
They totally just like chill outside without any, like in the winter without.
But I mean, sometimes they get cold. Like sometimes dogs totally get cold.
They
in
totally get
winter.
cold, but I feel like they're the hairy ones at least
Yeah.
are in a better position than we
Yeah.
are.
So I have an English Shepherd and an Australian Shepherd, and neither one of them seems to give a fuck about the cold. But I had a lab, like a black lab mix, who was mostly black lab, and he had kind of short hair and like dainty little paws and stuff, and he would sometimes like limp when we let him inside from the cold because his paws were super cold.
Yeah. Yep. Our dog, one of our dogs, Sheltie, did that too.
Yeah.
Does that.
The Saint Bernard next door, like when I lived with my parents, we had a Saint Bernard next door. He was big and floppy and adorable, and he also did not seem to give a fuck about the cold. He seemed to not think anything at all about it.
Yeah,
He just kind of walked around.
Our Sheltie likes it. He just goes out on the back porch and lays in the snow.
Yeah. Hina, our Aussie, loves it. She just like uses her head as a shovel to like dig for poop in the snow or whatever.
Yeah, it's poopsicles.
Gotta get those poopsicles.
There he is. I'm gonna.
Are you just gonna embrace?
I'm gonna embrace death.
Gonna embrace your death. Man, he was super excited about having eaten you.
So I'm gonna blow your mind. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Fast mode. Undocumented fast mode.
What?
This is an undocumented. That's how it's listed on like Wikipedia and stuff.
Undocumented fast mode.
Yeah, if you press F, you go faster.
I mean, isn't everything in this game undocumented? Like, I read that dude's whole webpage about this game, and he didn't say anything about it other than like how it was made.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. Like the original is just like ASCII characters.
Yeah, he made the original SkiFree like a super long time ago. Like way before he even made the Windows
91.
version. Yeah.
And it's just like,
and he said it was hard. You know how the thing about like John Carmack making Commander Keen was like that he pulled some bullshit to get a console game running on a PC around this time.
Yeah.
Because PCs were shit. PCs were just pieces of shit that couldn't do anything.
Oh, there's another one.
That was true at this point, and it was basically really hard. According to this guy, it was like hard to get this game to run on PCs, and he ended up like, because number one, there was no graphics accelerator, there was no GPU in a computer. It was just like you just have a fucking VGA pixel buffer. Like that's what your display is. You just draw in pixels, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it was just super brute force. There was no, built-in corner cutting for optimization for graphics or anything like there totally was on game consoles and stuff. So that plus the fact that like Windows adds like a bunch of layers of abstraction between the hardware and the software, like when you're coding in Windows, you're like you're coding in C, instead of fucking assembly or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just super inefficient. So I don't remember what exactly he said / didn't understand all the technical bullshit that he had to do, but basically he did a bunch of technical bullshit to get this game to run really well, such that it ran so well that he could run it on like old shitty PCs at the time even, and it would run pretty fucking fast and good and smooth and everything. Which is pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently, when he recompiled it in 2005, he had to like change the code a little bit to make it like more new computer friendly. Like you know how a lot of old shitty games use 100% of your CPU no matter how fast your CPU is, because they're just like dumb about how they handle that. This game was like that, and he fixed that, so it doesn't do that anymore. Because like when you have a game running on modern computers doing that, the problem is not really performance so much as it is power usage. Like if somebody wants to play SkiFree on their laptop and it's using 100% of the CPU, your battery's going to die in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I wonder I always wonder things like this. Like I wonder how many hours of this game I played.
Yeah.
Relative to other things.
Probably like not
very much. Like,
yeah.
When I think of playing a bunch of this, it was probably like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because when you're a kid, like days are forever.
Days are an eon.
Yeah.
Hours are an age. And minutes are like days. Or
a
weeks.
Fortnight.
A fortnight.
Heck of fortnights.
It's like, yeah, one time when I was a kid, I played SkiFree for like
10 minutes.
I don't know, 20 days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a total thing. I would love to be able to know for certain something about my past, Like,
yeah.
I would love to be able to just, like, if there was just cameras on every inch of the earth forever, and you could just access that. You could just search through all that video and find a specific date and time and place exactly anywhere on the earth. I would love to be able to do that with my own life and just like confirm things. Just be like, when did I do this? Was that actually a thing that I ever did?
Got some style points.
Because I know for certain that if I went back to a certain time, I would just be watching myself sit on the edge of my bed, listening to rock radio and playing like Rainbow Six 3 all day long, every day.
My God.
Of my entire life. Because I wasn't even in school. I was a homeschooled kid. And like at a certain point, my mom stopped like really paying attention to how much homeschool work I did. And so I kind of just didn't do school for a really long time. And what my mom would always tell people when they would ask, like, how does that work? Is she'd be like, oh, we school year round. And it's like, yeah, like, sure. Like, like if by that you mean we just do school whenever we fucking feel like it, then yes, that's what that was. So like, you know, you would come home at a certain time.
Yeah.
So I would play with you, you know, once you got home at like 5 or whatever, whenever kids get off school. But I had been playing games all day before that, even. Like, I was already on Rainbow Six 3 when you got on at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then I had to do homework.
Yeah. That was annoying when you had to do homework.
Yeah.
It pissed me off.
You got to play less.
Yeah.
With your
Do you remember that time you disappeared for a while?
Oh, I remember that time. In like 10th
What
grade.
the most infuriating weird fucking thing about it was what you said about it when we asked you about it when you got back. You were such a douche nozzle about it for some reason. Like,
do you mean?
so me and our friend Patrick were just playing games because he was homeschooled too, and his parents were even worse about, like, he was homeschooled in the way that Dr. Pepper is a real doctor. Like, he was just not schooled. His parents just took him out of school and he just did whatever the fuck he wanted forever. And he and I were playing games during a time in high school when we would play a lot with you, except that, like, it felt like a year to me, but it was probably more like a few days or something during that, where basically you just weren't on ever. Like, because that's how we used to roll. Like, we didn't really use our phones that much. Like, until college, we didn't even like text each other. We just used to get on at a certain time, you know, just be on AIM or whatever.
Yeah.
Or on Xbox.
Yeah.
And you just stopped getting on for like a long time, for like an eon.
So
And then when you finally did one day, you were just on randomly and you were like, hey, what's up, guys? And we were like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Where have you been? You were just like, oh, I've been around. What are you talking about? That you just lied or something. You just like didn't understand what had happened. You literally said, I've been around. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what you said to us.
Okay.
You douche.
I don't remember that.
What did you do that?
Saying that.
You said that. Maybe you were just like in a fugue state.
Maybe. What was going on was in 10th grade, I was in AP classes and I just had homework infinitely, basically. Yeah. I had school and then I had like 4 or 5 hours of homework or something.
And how's that worked out for you, being in those AP classes?
It was
working at Best Buy selling those TVs.
I might be selling some TVs. I might be working some retail. It did get me like 2 credits of college credit.
Nice. So you had to do literally 0 semesters less work.
Exactly. Because I didn't take like a class one semester, so
yeah.
So it just like evened out anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that part of it. I remember like being super busy a bunch.
Can you go into fast mode to get away from that motherfucker?
That's what I'm in.
Yeah, you totally can. Like, you're faster than him in fast mode.
Yeah.
It's just, like, really hard.
When I was doing it one other time, like, another one popped out.
Like, there's 2 snowmen?
Yeah.
It's a snowman and his snow bitch.
Yeah. His snow girlfriend.
I mean, honestly, do you think that abominable snowmen have girlfriends? He's probably got, like, his woman.
You don't know. You don't know what his society
Did he take her to prom? Like, they go on dates. Does he have to like guess what her mood is?
What are you thinking about?
You wouldn't even understand if I told you. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Man, John Mulaney was good.
Yeah.
We saw John Mulaney live in concert last night. Famed comedian John Mulaney.
Yes.
And he was really good.
He was wonderful.
He was super good. He did this. What's going to be great is watching, like, if he makes a special if he makes a special of the material that he's doing on this tour, it'll be interesting to see that special and see how similar or different it is from the exact show that we saw. Because, like, he did a bunch of stuff that seemed like impromptu, kinda, or at least like semi-planned or whatever. Like, there was a family with like a couple of little kids sitting in the front row, and he kept like addressing the little kids specifically, and he had like basically long bits where the joke was just that he was talking to a little kid. And so it's like, you know, did he set that up? Did he like make sure that there was going to be a little kid in the front row? And is he doing that in every city or whatever? Or is he like, does he just have a thing he does if there's a little kid in the front row, and he does a different thing as like the generic thing to do or whatever, you know? He also did that milkshakes thing, which would be interesting if he does every show somehow too. Basically, there was a point at which some dude, lots of people were getting up to take a piss, which is weird, or whatever they were getting up to do, which is weird. Seems like the show was only like an hour and a half long or something, and people still had to fucking get up and pee.
It's like every 15 seconds, like one or two people would get up and leave for some reason. I don't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Which was
I assume they just had to go pee because they came back.
Which like, it was super disruptive because like everyone in the row had to stand up to let them get out.
Yeah, which it was just like nobody does that in movie theaters. Like, I mean, some people get up, but like movies are like 2 or 3 hours long generally now, and most of the time, almost no one gets up to go pee. But this was like a less long show than that, and everyone was getting up constantly. It was weird. And it's not like it was like boring or whatever. Like people were super engaged and like laughing a lot.
They were really loud. Like,
super loud and everything. Like, I mean, maybe it's just a different social dynamic or something, or maybe it's like different people in the city versus being out in the suburbs or whatever, you know?
Get away from me, Steven.
More young people who have gonorrhea or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did this bit that was like the first guy who got up and left. He was like, "Where are you going, sir? Everything okay?" And then when he left, he was like, "Hey, can you guys hear me out in the hallway?" on the mic. And then he was like, "Oh, you can?" And so he took the mic away and he just kind of shouted at the audience so we could hear him. And because we were so quiet, everybody could just still hear him. And he was just like, "Okay, so at some point later in the show, after that guy comes back, I'm going to be like, and you know what they say in Minnesota or in Minneapolis or whatever. And then you guys are going to say, we like milkshakes." All right. And then he'll be like, "What, is that a thing?" And then he totally did that later. He like waited and until, you know, whatever the cue moment in his show is for that. And then he's like, "And you know what they say in Minneapolis?" And then everyone did it in unison, and it was glorious. And he was like, "What's your problem, asshole?" and like singled out that guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was a super good idea for a joke.
Yeah, I wonder if they would include that kind of thing on a special. Like,
I mean, yeah, like I've seen comedy specials like Joe Rogan and Louis C.K. and stuff where they include audience interaction stuff. So
yeah. I just wonder if that's part of that show specifically.
Yeah, like,
or if it's just like,
because he had way less of that in his 2 specials that are out. Like, he didn't ever really talk to the audience like that way. He didn't have that much interaction. So it'd be interesting if that's just a thing he's doing on this special. Like, he's just decided, okay, what's a new thing I can do? I'm going to do audience stuff now. You know? And I wonder if it's improvised or if he's just got these bits that he knows he can do because somebody's always going to get up at some point or whatever, you know? So, yeah. Yeah,
it was super, super good.
Yep.
He's a lovely man.
Like, yeah, he. That's exactly like the sentiment I have toward John Mulaney. He's a lovely man. I wish I was his friend.
He's super polite. He's so polite, you could pour soup in his lap and he'd apologize to you.
Yeah. That was one of the first jokes he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's quickly become one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah, we kind of discovered him a couple weeks ago for the most part.
Yeah. Man, you're sucking right now.
I'm not particularly trying to accomplish anything.
I mean, there's not much to accomplish in this game.
Playing SkiFree is the thing.
You want to play some of that Oregon Trail?
We should play some of that Oregon Trail.
Let's get some Oregon Trail on.
All right.
Let's do that.
Oh, Steve.
Is that his name?
That's what I've taken to calling him. I feel like there's some kind of a...
Is this like the Silent Hill PT where like technically you don't die there, he just like poops you out at the beginning?
He poops you out at the top of the mountain. At the top. You can never get to the bottom of the mountain.
It's like
that's actually
we're in
horrifying.
hell. Yeah, that's super horrifying. That's like a dream I would have.
Yeah.
That's like the only kind of dream I have. What does that say about me? Like when I remember my dreams, it's always just I'm trying to do something and I can't. And it's just impossible.
Is it blissful?
I'm dying.
Is it blissful?
It's like a dream.
I want to dream.
And scene. We're done with this bullshit.
Fucking SkiFree.
SkiFree's alright.